Welcome everyone to these new moon archangel readings. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for your comments, your likes, your shares. You guys have been just so responsive to the readings I've been posting, including the spontaneous ones as well. Now we are literally, as I record this, I am sitting in the energy of the new moon. This is an incredibly powerful new moon in terms of expanding our wishes and our intentions and shifting into a space of renewed optimism, hope, possibility. Really, for anyone who's really interested in the tribal moon phases, we are now starting a new moon phase. It's the fourth moon phase, looks far woman. What I'll do is I'll tack on a little video about the coming month, and I'll put it on at the end of these readings. So for anyone that's interested in that stuff, I'll read a little bit about Lux Far Woman, what we can expect in terms of our soul's evolution and how that impacts on manifestation. So I'll tack that video on at the end of these three readings. And I will now put up the weekly lunar updates. And then I will see you as we draw the cards. We're going to be using 4 different archangel packs, and I'm going to draw an additional angel card for each reading to help to guide you into the one that is going to be speaking to you, or indeed one. Sometimes there's more than one. So guys, I will upload now those daily updates for the coming week, and I will see you when we look at the cards in just a moment. Welcome to the weekly lunar updates. So today is Sunday and the moon is in Taurus. The energy today says, give your dreams and ideas space to emerge. Don't push it. Allow the universe to show you the way. The lunar energy supports consistent momentum, fueled by new ways of thinking and higher-minded solutions. So be open to receive. On Monday, the moon is still in Taurus, and the overall astrodynamics at this time are calling us to see through illusions and to seek the truth in any and all of our situations. The lunar influence advises steady investment with awareness of the longer-term future. On Tuesday, the moon moves from Taurus into Gemini, with a void of course period between 01:52 and 03:04 AM GMT. Now, amidst the overall astrological flavour of seeing through illusion and seeking to find the truth, today the lunar influence invites you to get still and evaluate what you can personally do in real terms to build and support a sustainable future. So use this energetic to feed and fuel your own visions for the world in ways that you can personally contribute, and in ways that you wish to manifest for yourself. In other words, align your own dreams and visions with a vision that upholds the bigger picture as well. On Wednesday, the moon is in Gemini, and the lunar influence promotes the restoration of balance and harmony through creativity and healing. The lunar energy actually intensifies towards the end of the day, heading towards midnight GMT. And so if passions are ignited, listen with mindful consideration and then contemplate the most balanced and harmonious way ahead. On Thursday, the moon moves from Gemini into Cancer with quite a long void of course period from 3:14 in the morning to 15:31 in the afternoon GMT. This is a really good day to walk tall and prioritise actions that support your vocation and your calling in whatever area of your life is most uppermost at this present time. So whether this is work, family, love, or all of these, make a conscious choice today to invest in your deepest desires. On Friday, the moon is in Cancer, and the lunar energy fosters nurture, support, care, growth and fertility. So feed and fuel everything that feels right and resonates with the core values that feed you at a level of soul. Truth, honesty, faith, hope, and build a vision worthy of generations yet to come. On Saturday, the moon is still in Cancer. The energy today invites constructive evaluation that leads to some form of transformation. Now this is a first quarter moon. The energy of the first quarter moon naturally invites evaluation, and today's lunar influence suggests real potential for conversations and communications that enable us to maintain our momentum while simultaneously making any adjustments and course corrections that we need in order to keep us on track. So those are the lunar updates for the coming week, the dailies. Do check them out on Facebook and Instagram if those are platforms that you use, and have an amazing week. And guys, if you'd like to hear a little bit more about the overall flow of lunar energy in the coming month, do check out the video at the end of the readings. Tons and tons of love. Have an amazing week. Welcome everyone to our cards. I hope you enjoyed those daily lunar updates. So what we are going to do here is we actually have 3 Archangel Oracle packs to choose from. In every single one of the readings, I will be using the Archangel Tarot, and I'm going to draw from a Guardian Angel pack for each of the readings first, to help you to see which one is going to be calling to you. We have 3 beautiful pieces of angelite as well here, so really enhancing our connection with our angels and our guides. Now this particular pack has an affirmation for each of the cards. It's a lovely pack. So I'm going to draw a card and I will read you the affirmation as well, which I think may then help you to know which of these 3 readings you'll be drawn to. Okay, so your first popping out here is Angel of Health. Okay, let's read the affirmation for Angel of Health. Okay, so first of all, Angel of Health says you are a healthy spiritual being who rejoices in experiencing wellness in your life. The affirmation is, I am at one with my body. My health is on track. I am guided by my Angel of Health to maintain physical activity and a healthy lifestyle. So that is the energy around reading number 1. Reading number 2, Angels of the Universe. Wow, beautiful cards. And I'll just find a beautiful picture of the author here. 35, Angels of the Universe. Your soul has made many journeys. You have the knowledge within that you need. The affirmation, I gratefully accept the assistance from the angels of the universe. I know that I am here for a reason and that they will help me find my purpose. So that is reading number 2. And reading number 3, Angel of Past Issues. So, Angel of Past Issues, reading number 3. The past is history. It is time to let go. I welcome in the new energy of my future life. And the affirmation, I am no longer stuck in the past. I can't change what happened in the past, but I can be in control of what I welcome into my future. Excuse me. Very powerful cards, given the nature of the new moon and the new moon energy that is really supporting us in actively manifesting, a month of manifestations where we can heal, let go and create sort of almost all simultaneously. So beautiful energy, beautiful cards. I should say thank you to Debbie Malone, the author, and illustrated by Amalia I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Chitulescu. So, but beautiful, beautiful cards. Thank you, and thank you to all creators of cards. You know, they give us, they create a channel for us to use. So very powerful, and thank you, Jamie Sams, as well, of course. So, let us let us move to the readings. Guys, sit with whichever reading is speaking to you. Timestamps are in the information box, of course. And yeah, if you're not sure as yet, you know, just press the pause button and come back to it, or just press the pause button and sit and just see, you know, see which one is speaking to you, or indeed it may be more than one. Tons and tons of love. We will be drawing runes, of course, as well, probably some charms too, and I will also throw the astrology dice too for each of the readings. Tons of love, and see you in a moment. So reading 1, you have chosen the Angel of Health, and we actually are using the Archangel Animal cards. Okay, so you have Virgo and you have Neptune. So Neptune in Virgo. Gosh, Neptune is all about, you know, spirituality, our connection with spirit. Virgo is thinking about the Angel of Health here, really. You know, Virgo is really quite pragmatic. I'm wondering if you're needing to take some quite pragmatic steps in some way that align your, I almost want to say your purpose, calling, aspects of your life, of your health, with your spiritual pathway. Let's see what we're shown. We have Kangaroo, be a force for good, and I've just turned it over and here it is. I think we will keep that card out actually, and we'll draw from these cards first, and then we will draw from the Archangel Tarot. Ant, cooperate for the highest good of the community. So be a force for good. There's something about, yeah, doing something quite practical. There's some practical action, but it's about the higher good. Camel, be forbearing and patient. So really interesting message coming through for some of you. This will apply to some and not all, but be aware of the emotional impact on your body, on your physical body. Be forbearing and patient. If you're in a situation where maybe I think some of you are experiencing some frustrations in the community around you, or some aspect of difficulty that you're having to process, you're being asked to be aware of the physical impact of this on you. You know, when somebody says something, it's like the power of words, isn't it? If someone says something quite challenging or negative, your body feels it. You know, it's like if we had a child sitting in front of us and we talked to them with great encouragement, you know, you'd watch them physically become like they'd start to sit up straighter. If you tell them off or criticize them, and it could be the same situation, if you criticize them, you'll watch them literally shrink into the chair. You know, so our body responds emotionally to what we're feeling. And I feel like, so for some of you, there is a message here. Just be thoughtful about the impact of the community around you. If something's not moving forwards, you know, hold the highest good, be the force for good, which I think you are here, but also be forbearing and patient, and recognize the impact on your health. Open yourself to true abundance. And we're going to draw one more. Badger, bring your life back into balance. Okay. Let's move these along, and we'll draw from the Archangel Tarot. Three of Raphael, reasons to celebrate, a community of friends, happy announcements regarding relationships or children. New beginnings, Archangel Jeremiah, the High Priestess, Archangel Haniel, Divine Guidance, Archangel Sandalphon. Do please excuse me. I sort of have perhaps overly saged in here when I was cleansing before the readings. Now, this is really interesting because I feel like for some of you, again, Neptune, energy of Neptune, I feel like there's something taking place in your world that is actually sort of almost like a calling. Starting a new life, finding your purpose, a forgiving and compassionate review of the past, powerful psychic insights, reflection and meditation that provides valuable information. Be at peace. Again, be at peace. Recognize the impact of others around you, the emotions of others particularly, and how that impacts on you physically. Archangel Sandalphon, the search for meaning in life. Consider an alternative approach. Surround yourself with wise teachers or friends. Bring your life back into balance. This is really interesting. I feel like there's some aspect of your part in the community that you're questioning, or there's a course correction, or your part in the community that your role, again, this will apply to some of you, but not all. It's as if you've had a vision for the future. You know your part. You knew you were on a particular trajectory. Is that the right word? You knew the pathway you were on. You knew where you were going. And there's a celebration around you, but the celebration is actually about changing course or taking a slightly different direction, or yeah, there's a realignment taking place here. That's what I'm seeing. There's purpose. Do you know, for some of you, you may actually be opening a new doorway. Your own, this is to do with your own pathway, and I think there's something about you separating onto your own pathway, and some people would perhaps have liked you to stay as you were. I think I'm seeing it from two sides here. It's almost as though some of you are moving into a much clearer direction of your own, and it is time to take action, and to do this, it feels very right for you. But perhaps it's almost a bit like if you were going to up sticks and leave home, and you know, maybe your family would have preferred you to stay where you were because that was working for them. There's something of that sort of energy of you finding your direction, and yeah, it's like a transition and moving on. There's a space of new beginnings, and it's very powerfully tuned into some aspect of purpose, calling, and finding meaning. For some of you, you're on that pathway, and maybe you're meeting some kind of a block in some way, and again, something isn't quite, maybe somebody is, it just feels like there's a resistance around you. You know, however that's arriving, you'll know what that means within the context of your own world. But you are needing to do what's right for you. Find an alternative approach and open yourself to true abundance. Archangels Mary and Raphael. Badger, bring your life into balance. Archangels Mary again, and Sandalphon. We have Sandalphon again here. Let's talk a little bit about the energy of Badger for a moment. Badgers are very tenacious. They're very, very protective of they're very family orientated. They're very protective of their family. But they don't fight unless they're cornered, but they know when to fight and when not to for something. So there's something around working out how to navigate this transition that's right for you. Let's draw some runes. We have the rune of disruption, the rune of flow, the rune of protection. And the rune of openings. Lovely. Okay. Now, what I'm seeing with the rune of disruption here is, again, you are needing to change course in some way, or it's either, for some of you, it's simply approaching something from a different perspective, like taking a different route to get to where you're going. For some of you, it's literally a change of direction. For others, it's a stepping into something that it's like a new role of some sort in some way. And again, it's new. What I see here is it's really right for you, but it may not feel as though others might want you to be doing something else or doing something differently. It's really right you follow through and be very thoughtful of your health, your own personal health and wellness. Be very, very thoughtful about this, because the impact of it, I feel like you're very susceptible at the moment. That's perhaps not the right word, but sensitive. Yeah, there's a real sensitivity around you. In a way, you're moving into a place, I think, where you're very open to a space of new beginnings. But within that openness, you're actually very, very sensitive as well. And you are being asked to watch your sensitivity. And you're quite absorbent, I think, of the energy of those around you. And I mean, it comes, with spiritual openness. We also, of course, as we open ourselves to higher levels of spiritual guidance, we're opening ourselves to energy, and that does also mean that we're open to the energy of others around us. So be very thoughtful about that. Now, the rune of disruption, Hagalaz. This is a rune that sometimes it literally says I don't know, I want to say that something's wearing thin, or you've gradually, I feel like you've gradually grown. Hagalaz, there's like a need again to break free from something. That's what this rune speaks of. And yeah, for some of you, it is literally a doorway opens, and it's the need and the courage for you to choose to walk through it without worrying about what other people think. But, be forbearing, be patient, consider that consider how it is for other people, and yet at the same time do what's right for you. Because this is the rune of flow, you're flowing into a new space of being. New beginnings, and there's real reason to celebrate here. A community of friends, happy announcements regarding relationships or children, messages coming through here very, very clearly. Again, this will be for some but not all. For some of you, if you have met someone, a new love, you may find there's some envy around you. It's really interesting, I think, if you've been best friends with someone and then you meet a partner, sometimes that best friend isn't always as happy for you as you might want them to be. And it's really because their fear of losing you, and they will need to know that you're still their friend, but actually your world is going to change and you're not going to have the same amount of time for them, because actually your world is changing, because this is right for you. It's a new beginning. And this is part of your pathway here. You're meant to meet this person. Again, for some of you, you're maybe shifting into a new community group. You may have joined, if you were, part of quite a close kind of group of people, a niche of people. Your world may be expanding, and that niche of people might almost, in one way, they would sort of want to support you, but kind of don't at the same time, because they liked having you as part of their niche, and they're seeing you expand and grow. And it's completely right that you expand and grow, but at the same time there's this little bit of resistance around. Again, be forbearing, cooperate for the highest good. You're going to be able to work your way through this, bring your life into balance, open yourself to true abundance, reasons to celebrate. So again, happy announcements. If there is something that has come into your world that is a celebration, I do feel that's what's being said here. There's a new opening, a new opportunity, a new potential for you, and it's really right for you. and there is just some element, I've used the word resistance, around you, but it isn't actually, I don't necessarily think it's in you, I think it's around you. So it's time for you to flow into the new. And yes, there's a big change afoot in some aspect of your world, but it's completely right for you. The Rune of Protection, this is a lovely warm reading. The Rune of Protection, it's very interesting because it actually speaks of discernment. You know, it speaks of doing the right thing, of right action. And the right thing in this instance is to step into the space of the new, to open yourself to the abundance of the pathway that's being offered to you. You are going to move forwards. There is clarity of direction, and it's absolutely right for you at this time. You know, so reading 1, this is really the right timing for you. And yes, just navigate this gently and thoughtfully without allowing the energy of anybody else's perspectives to kind of infiltrate your own energy zone. Angel of Health. The Angel of Health is around you, guarding, protecting, a bubble of light around you that means your light is intact as you move through. We don't ignore those that perhaps can't quite celebrate for us. You know, a forgiving and compassionate review of the past, finding your purpose. This is such a big deal for you. You know, whatever it is you're moving into, whether this is new love, moving house, moving to a different area, a new job, or even just starting a new creative project, or letting go of an old habit or something, whatever this is for you. It's time to be at peace with this choice. And it's an important choice for you. That's what I'm really seeing here. And you know, this reading is honouring your right to choose. Divine guidance, searching for meaning in life. You know, this reading is honouring you and your right to choose and the direction that's being shown to you. And there is protection around you in terms of keeping your light, your pathway intact, and navigating a little bit of opposition or disgruntledness is a word that's coming through. For some of you, there's a slight disgruntledness in some of the people around you. And for some, it's kind of plain old-fashioned envy or jealousy that you're doing well, or that you're moving on, or that you're embracing the new. And actually, you know, interestingly enough, very clear message coming through. It's really reminding me, I'm being asked to share this with you. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Nelson Mandela's inauguration speech many years ago now, but in that speech he actually quoted, it was from a Marianne Williamson quotation, where ultimately he was sort of saying, you know, don't dampen your light. In fact, of course, Marianne Williamson, I think it comes from the book, I think it's A Return to Love. She's a remarkable teacher, speaker. Gosh, today's readings, we seem to be full of remarkable teachers and speakers coming through, the gifts that people bring for us all to grow and to learn. But it spoke of, her words speak of, you know, not dimming your light down. You know, and the recognition that if somebody is envious or puts you down out of their own envy or jealousy, that is not a reflection of you, and it should not cause you to dim your light. In fact, far from it. Step up and hold your light higher and brighter, because you will be a beacon of light for others to follow. You will serve as a guiding light for others if you step up and step forward. It's like if your best friend and yourself were both single, for example, and you meet the love of your life, and your best friend is sort of disgruntled, or he or she wants to be happy for you, but he or she maybe, you know, kind of also is feeling that envy or feeling left out. Actually, by stepping up and embracing that new love, you will give permission for your best friend to go out there and find the same for themselves. So it's very much about embracing your pathway, being the guiding light actually through your own actions. beautiful, beautiful, lovely, lovely energy. So whatever, wonderful, you know, reading number 1, people, whatever you are, yeah, whatever this is for you personally, it's a very important choice to be making. So, you know, tons and tons of love to you. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for today's readings, and thank you for those of you who've given me feedback for the spontaneous readings I posted a couple of days ago. If you'd like to get notification of any of the stuff that I do, the weeklies on Sunday, every Sunday, you know, if you've enjoyed the reading, and if you would like to get notification when I post spontaneous things, if you subscribe and press the little bell icon, it should hopefully come into your stream on YouTube. You may need to look at settings as well, but I'm pretty certain it comes through if you check in with them fairly regularly. I also have a monthly prize draw. I give away a free private reading actually, and also a signed limited edition pack of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. These are a pack of my own cards. So I'll be making the announcement of the winners after next Sunday's readings. So once you're on my, it's a subscriber offer, but once you're on my subscriber email list, I'll put the link in the information box and in the comments for phone users. I'll put it under the timestamps. Once you're on that email list, you're in the prize draw forever, as long as you are a subscriber and a part of this community here. So yeah, if that is kind of reaching out to you, you know, do check that out. Wonderful friends, have an amazing week, and yeah, follow and trust follow and trust the pathway that's being opened for you. It's time to take action and move this forwards. Tons and tons of love to you. So, reading number 2, you have chosen the Angels of the Universe card. We have a wonderful pack of Archangel cards as well. You have the Sun in Leo. This feels like a magnificent energy of celebration. Angels of the Universe. Wow. Okay, let's move this card over here. Gosh, there's a lovely, lovely energy here. Really powerful, really positive. Let's see what the cards are going to show us. Reading number 2. Clairvoyance. Archangel Raziel, I am helping you with your spiritual sight. Or I'm helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. Career transition. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. Take back your power. Hello from heaven. Peace. Okay. Wow. So we know that April as a month, you know, and right now, the energy around us right now, the beginning of a new moon phase, we are in a month of manifestation where we can really establish quite a significant sort of foundation stone, or new beginning, new purpose, something that can move something forwards. Now, the Sun in Leo feels like a burst of creative potential, a burst of opportunity. I'm actually going to reread the Angels of the Universe affirmation here as well. I gratefully accept the assistance from the Angels of the Universe. I know that I am here for a reason and that they will help me find my purpose. Your soul has made many journeys. You have the knowledge within that you need. It's really interesting because bang in the middle we have this card, take back your power. Archangel Raziel, use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. Archangel Azrael, your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. Peace comes from remembering that only love is real. So a message coming through for some of you, not all, but for some of you, I think, have lost someone. You have actually, and I say relatively recently, it's not, I don't think it's like yesterday, but relatively recently, in the last year or two, maybe for some of you it's the last few years, but you lost someone significant and you've been processing that loss. And this reading is saying to you, it's time to sort of open the door to life again. You know, for those of you that are new to my readings, I have a massive library online. It's a free online library. You know, membership is free and always will be. It's because I worked as a therapist, a counsellor for over 28 years. That was my sort of full-time job before I moved into more spiritual work. And it's a library, it's full of resources to help navigate emotions and you know, the psychological stuff of life. You know, I'm a great believer in sharing information. There are 2 pages, there's a whole section about bereavement and loss and processing. Now, this is just a message for some of you, but some of you have been processing some form of loss. And, you know, there's a point at which I think life comes knocking on our door again. And, you know, sometimes it's a gentle knock, sometimes it's a very big one. And it can be really, we can be quite hesitant. It's almost as though we feel, well, it's a big step. It's a big step to embrace life again. But that's actually what this reading is saying. And it's interesting because I think sometimes we almost feel guilty. We go out and we suddenly go out and find that we're having a laugh or something. And then we suddenly feel as if we're dishonouring the person we loved. Actually, we're not. When we embrace life again, we're celebrating them. When we live life to the full, we live in honour of those we've loved and lost. And there's something quite powerful. Gosh, the temperature is dropping in here and every hair on my body is standing on end. Gosh, there's a huge presence of people coming through here for you. The people you have truly loved they are fine. They're doing fine. Let go of blessings. Let go of blessings. Let go of worries. Feel their loving blessings. Their blessings are around you. Gosh, massive sense of presence of many, actually. So, clairvoyance. I'm helping you with your spiritual sight. So this can awaken and you can clearly see heavenly love. You're processing. For many of you, there's some aspect of loss, and also I'm going to say transition. You know, losses and bereavement, the process of bereavement is not just about people who pass away. The process of bereavement is actually about, people, you know, that process is there in transition. You know, if something ends, a relationship ends, or a job ends, we process the loss, you know, of something in order to move to the new. When one chapter of life closes, there is a process to go through, and it's powerfully emotional. Take back your power. It's time for you to embrace something. Now, for some of you, this is very much about a career transition. Again, message coming through again. If you lost somebody, it's time to almost to get back into the world. You know, go back to work if you've had time out, or you didn't feel you could. Just embrace something here. Career transition. For some of you, there is a move and a shift coming around very specifically your career, and again you may be experiencing a loss of one role, but it's time to move through and forwards. Let's see what the Archangel's cards. We have solutions. Archangel Zadkiel. Success that comes from objective compromise, self-control and patience, forgiving and healing energy. Yeah, there are solutions for you. There is a solution. 9 of Michael. Your worry is unnecessary. Let go of worries. Your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. yeah, there's this process of worrying that is, you know, needs to be let go of. Take back your power. Decision. Release yourself from that which holds you back. A need to detox. Unnecessary worry based on a lack of self-confidence. It's really interesting, angels of the universe, you know, you've had many lives before. You are here to embrace the path, a new pathway in some way, or to process something here. Four of Ariel. When you give, you also receive. Being resistant to change, extremes in how you save or spend money. This is really interesting. There's a lot of worry and concern around this reading, I think, but it's unnecessary. I mean, that's the lovely thing here. It's sort of, I almost feel like you've dug yourselves into, you know, that sort of part of us where we start to overthink things and start to worry excessively about things. Epiphany. Lovely. Joy through spiritual growth. Be a light to others. Answers that come through meditation. Queen of Raphael. Kind, understanding, giving, psychic. Follow your heart. A love of home and family. Trustworthy psychic information. Clairvoyance. Archangel Raziel. I'm helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. I really feel like there is a huge amount of support around you. You're really being asked to embrace and celebrate something new for you, to let go of worry, release yourself of the concerns that something won't work out, any thinking patterns that involve worry, concern, fear, anything that you have been holding back on, holding yourself back from. It's really time to release the fears, the concerns, and embrace the changes that are being, the doorways that are being opened for you. Answers that come through meditation. There's something about getting still here. There is a decision to make. But again, release yourself from things that hold you back. I feel like there's a decision that you guys need to make. The timing is actually really quite right for it. I think you sort of know the answer possibly, or maybe some of you don't and you need to meditate more to find out, but you know, it's... Let's see what the runes will show us. Discernment. This is again about making decisions. The rune of the spiritual warrior is all about discernment. It's about making choices, cutting away the old and embracing the new, and moving forwards with confidence. We have the rune of initiation. This is like a rite of passage, almost a rebirth. Yeah, there is a transition. And the rune of openings, Kano, lovely, beautiful energy. You will find your direction. I feel like there's some of you are just, it is purely a lack of confidence. That's what we're being shown here. Take back your power. Four of Ariel, you know, being resistant to change. it's here really. But you know, joy through spiritual growth. Be a light to others. Now this is an indication here as well. being a light to others, embracing life, choosing to celebrate, choosing to grasp something, choosing to try something out. I feel like you're being asked to step out of your comfort zone, and that includes the comfort zone of worry. You know, worry can become almost like a prison, actually. But the bizarre thing is, and this is the sort of double-edged sword to it, the bizarre thing with that is that it keeps us safe because we don't have to take a risk. It keeps us in a safe zone. And I feel for you guys that it's appropriate for you to step out of your safe zone and into a stretch zone. I'm actually just going to grab a piece of paper. I'm going to draw you something that I used to draw for some of my clients in my counselling work, because I think this might be helpful to you. So I'll pause the video. It shouldn't impact for you because it'll be on pause just for a second, so I can grab a pen and paper. Okay, so you should literally have not been paused for very long. I've gone and got some pen and paper. I'm going to lay this, my apologies, beautiful cards, but this is the best place to put this so it can be seen. So what I'm going to draw for you is some circles. So the first circle is what I would call our safe zone. Then we have another circle, and this is our stretch. And then we have another circle around the outside, and this is the stress zone. Okay, now if you think of your life as a line going through here, and we're all on that line somewhere. Now, if you have a really, really, really big event that takes place in your life, like for example, if you lose somebody, or you're made redundant, or you know, something big happens, emotionally and psychologically, it's highly likely that you need to retreat and be sitting in here, in your safe zone. So that's where you would be. It would be right for you to be on the line here. Okay, so now that's because of life events. You know, there are times we need to be in our safe zone. There are also times when, you know, we could say for optimal health, when we are at our best, one of the best places to be is somewhere on the stretch zone. And that could be anywhere. It could be just outside the safe zone, or it could be right on the edge. You know, if we're really powered up, fired up, everything's going well, we're in a stretch zone. We can even handle a little bit of extra stress because it's really fueling our growth. You know, never good to stay in the stress zone for too long. Even if work demands something and you really are pushing yourself forward, that's great. We can be in the stress zone, but we need to then firmly put ourselves back at the end of the day into our safe zone and retreat. You know, this is fluctuating. You know, it can be fluctuating on a daily basis. It can also be fluctuating in the bigger picture. So if I were to draw a kind of a central line down here, we could say, if we looked at this on a daily basis, my writing is terrible today. I'm trying not to press too hard on the cards. And this is sort of a more longer term. Now, if you've lost somebody, for example, or you've had a big event in your life, in the longer term, you need to stay in the safe zone for longer. This is more of a daily thing. You know, literally on a daily basis, you can push yourself, but you shouldn't be pushing yourself constantly. You would then come home in the evening and retire to your safe zone, so you replenish. So hopefully you get the gist of this. Now, when something big happens and we go into our safe zone, and that's the right place to be, often because life launched us into the stress zone in a big way, we therefore have to kind of counterbalance it. But it's not healthy to stay here forever, because actually this can stop us from ever growing if we stay here. Sometimes, and this is where kind of over worrying comes in, because sometimes worry keeps us here. It kind of keeps us from never stepping into the stretch zone, and sometimes we need to take that risk and move into this place here, because this is where we can start to celebrate life, grow more, step forwards. Stepping into this can feel like we've launched ourselves into here sometimes, but that's just because it's feeling unknown. And actually what we again need to do is to replenish on a daily basis. But hopefully this is making some sense to you. I think it's quite helpful to use this kind of diagram almost, I suppose, to evaluate where we are sometimes. You know, am I staying in the safe zone? Are my thinking patterns holding me back? My inner beliefs, my lack of confidence? In which case, what can I do on a daily basis? Little steps to take me into the stretch zone, to do it safely. So all I'm doing is just taking a tiny little step out, and then I can take a slightly bigger step out, or an even bigger step out, until it feels okay to be dwelling in this zone. So we can really look at where we are and look at where we actually kind of maybe think we ought to be, and then think about how we approach the real circumstances in our lives in order to move forwards. What this rune is saying is that the clarity of direction will come to you, the path will be opened. This is the rune of openings, renewed, you know, out of darkness into light. The spiritual warrior rune is the rune of discernment, cutting away the old, making clear decisions. So I feel, you guys, for some of you, there is a decision to be made, and actually you're worrying a lot about it, and it's feeling very stressful. I think if the worry is stressing you out, you're worrying more than you need to. Try and rein in your thoughts, you know, your thinking patterns, your insecurities perhaps. I mean, we all have them, it's a human thing. But see if you can attend to that, so that the decision making becomes part of the stretch rather than part of the stress. You know, our own thinking patterns. Meditation, of course, can really, you know, bring us back into a space of stillness. Even within the stretch zone, we don't have to retreat into safety. We can remain still in the stretch zone. Stretch isn't always about doing everything really, really fast, but it's about being available and open to change and growth. Guys, I hope that was helpful. Just sort of randomly felt the right thing to be sharing with you. I think I'm going to wrap up the reading. It's clear to me that there is a decision to be made and you're in a space of transition. And it does involve what feels like quite a big rite of passage and opening up, but it's completely right that you do so at the moment. And it is time for those of you who have loved and lost to embrace life again and to celebrate life, to celebrate yourselves, and to celebrate the new opportunities that life will bring you. And I know that's a challenge, I totally understand, but life is to be celebrated, and the angels of the universe are supporting you at this time. Wonderful friends, if this reading has resonated with you, if you found it helpful, you know, thank you so much to those of you who are subscribed to the channel. If you found it helpful and you'd like to get notification of any of my readings, you know, do consider subscribing, and thank you for those that share and like as well. And guys, I actually have a monthly prize draw. It's a subscriber offer. If you want to get notification, press the little bell icon as well, because then it should come into your stream. I don't think subscribing necessarily brings you the videos as I post them, but if you press the bell icon, they should come into your stream, because I do post spontaneous readings as well as the weeklies every Sunday. I have a prize draw where I give away a pack of these cards, the first signed limited edition pack, and a free private reading. It's a subscriber offer, so if you are subscribed and you want to be in that prize draw, the subscriber email list to join is in the information box below, and I'll be announcing the winners of last month's prize draw probably next Sunday. I'll add a little bit on, a little video announcing the winners after the Sunday reading, so watch out for that, for those of you who are already on my email list. And once you're on it, you only have to join it once. You're in it forever then, for every monthly prize draw. So yeah, watch out for the announcement of the winners. Wonderful friends, it's time to celebrate yourselves. Tons and tons of love. Welcome, reading number 3. You have the Angel of Past Issues. Let's roll some dice. Okay, you have Neptune in Taurus. Something about grounding yourself here. Maybe there's been I don't know whether there's confusion. Neptune energy is really interesting because I feel like it's so powerfully spiritual and it's so illuminating, but it can feel a bit emotionally overwhelming as well sometimes. Taurus energy here, getting grounded, earthing something. Let's have a little look first of all at the Archangel Oracle. Not reading number 3, Lady Gaia. Your challenges are, look at the earth. Your challenges are lessons. You are loved and welcome on earth. Cherubim, look to the stars, accept keys and codes of stellar wisdom. Archangel Christiel, connect with unicorns, receive the white ascension flame. Archangel Mary, open your heart with compassion, enfold others in love. Gosh, this is really beautiful. I think we will have one more card here. Yes. Archangel Chamuel, open your heart to give and receive love. Your essence is love. Okay, I feel like this is really interesting. I want to say, if any of you have experienced it, it's that, you know, that saying, better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. I'm wondering if for some of you, you're fearful. That's what I feel like. You've been fearful of opening yourself up within relationship due to a past hurt in some way. Lovely, isn't it? Because if we think of the energy of Lux Far Woman, you know, we begin this moon cycle, Lux Far Woman, she offers the healing, the experiences of life that bring about healing so we can recover and through that recovery recognize that not only have we recovered, but we've grown and we are a bigger, better, more amazing version of ourselves. I feel like there is so much love around you. There's also children around you. There's an energy of children around you in some way. 4 of Ariel, when you give, you also receive, being resistant to change. Extremes in how you save or spend money. Now, Taurus is often associated with earthy lessons. There's something about holding on to something here. It's a past hurt or a past fear. Now, for some of you, this could be a lesson in love. But, you know, that saying, better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. And it's time to release that. For others, I think maybe there has been, you've experienced a lack. So whether it was a lack of love or a lack of material resources, or someone took from you and that's left you fearful in some way, there's something about, you know, lack coming through here that has hindered you from being able to move forwards. It's over. It's finished. A situation has ended. 10 of Michael. Oh, do you know, I feel like I can breathe. Isn't that, I hadn't even realized I was slightly holding my breath until this card came up and I went, whew, I can breathe again. A situation has ended and you are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. Oh, beautiful people. I feel really, this feels so heartfelt. There is so much love around you. I feel love and lost is in here, but it could be to do with material stuff as well, but yeah, this has ended. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Something's come to a completion. There's so much love, but it's a very specific, I want to say, a flavour of love. This is going to seem bizarre, but hopefully you'll understand what I mean. It's what I'm experiencing sitting here is the love that comes with real care, compassion, kindness. You know, the love that whatever someone's been through, it's like if a child has fallen over or been really hurt. You know, when, for any of you who are mums, you know, or parents, I say, because it's mums and dads, but I'm speaking, I guess, for me as a mum. You know, I think about a time when, you know, one of my children would come home from school desperately hurt and upset. You know, perhaps they'd been bullied or somebody had targeted them, and you just want to pick them up and wrap them up and hold them. You know, and you just want to tell them that everything will be all right. And even though you know you've got to help them navigate that, and ultimately they're going to have to learn to do that in some way for themselves, you just want to pick them up, hold them, and tell them that you know and you understand. And I feel that's what these angels and these extraordinary beings are offering you. I literally feel that level of kindness, care, compassion, nurture. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And they want you to know this situation has ended. Yeah, so don't be fearful here. It's time to let go and start afresh. Here we go. 5 of Raphael, everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace the opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. Gosh, again, there's healing energy. You know, Lux Far Woman offers us that healing. She brings healing in a way that we grow from our experiences and discover that our growth is the silver lining. This is so in attunement with the energy that's around. Lovely. 3 of Raphael, reasons to celebrate. A community of friends, happy announcements regarding relationships or children. Okay, do you know, if for some of you, if you are a parent and one of your children is really struggling, and you as a parent have not known quite how to help them, because, you know, ultimately sometimes with our children's worlds we can't fix it for them, even if we really, really want to. Not only has this situation come to an end, but there will be an opportunity that comes from it. And your children are being loved, supported, nurtured, your child or children, and they will come through this. Happy announcements regarding relationships or children. Yeah, if you have been damaged in relationship, I think new love may be on your horizons. If you've struggled within friendships, any aspect of something that has caused you to feel hurt, that's really the core message here. Anything that caused you to feel hurt or wounded. You know, that Neptune is so full of emotion. There's an emotional wound at the source of this. I think it's very interesting that, you know, when we experience something, and I'm going to use the word traumatic, you know, a traumatic happening, particularly at the hands of another person, you know, or a circumstance or situation, but nevertheless, another person involved in some way. You know, physically we heal, but it's the emotional scars that remain. You know, this is the second reading out of these 3 that I have said. You know, I worked as an accredited counsellor for over 28 years. And before, you know, I now do most of my work is much more spiritually orientated, but I have a huge online library, www.azemotionalhealth.com. The link is in the information box below. It's a massive resource which is full of stuff that is there to help you to understand how to navigate difficult emotions. You know, it's just a wealth of stuff, so do check it out if it's relevant to you. This is shifting. It's ended. It's over. It's done. Everything happens for a reason. I think, you know, with the energy, the lunar energy at the moment looks far woman, the tribal moon. There will be wonderful, wonderful opportunities this month, this coming month, for you guys to find that position of healing, to rebalance, and doorways to be open for you. And it's actually the healing that's being given that will allow you to move forwards. I love this Three of Raphael, reasons to celebrate. Let's draw some runes. Growth and joy. Wow. This is, I'm not drawing anymore. This is just heavenly. Growth Berkana. It's the rune of a whole new phase of life, a new beginning. It's symbolized by the birch tree. The birch tree is the first tree to seed itself after a forest fire. I don't know if you've ever walked across land after a fire. I have. I grew up in an area where there were lots and lots of woodland and common land, and areas where they would regularly sometimes get fires that would rampage across the land, and sadly often started by people or rubbish, or a hot weather, and a broken glass becoming a magnifying glass, something as simple as that, inadvertently causing damage. But the first tree to reseed itself, the growth afterwards was always there, even though there had been this seemingly devastating destruction. There afterwards, these trees would start to sprout, and the birch trees do come through first. They really are. It's like the first signs of new growth. Birch is also the symbol of rebirth. So Berkana, this is a whole new phase of life for you, and the rune of joy is literally out of darkness into light. It's a fruit-bearing rune. It's a rune of promise. It's a rune of new horizons, new opportunities. It's like a new dawn, a new day and a new dawn with the sun rising. The fog lifts, the mist clears, and there you are. It is a new dawning, and it is just magical. So this feels really, really right. In terms of this is over. Whatever situation you have experienced, connect with unicorns, receive the white ascension flame. Open your heart with compassion, even to those who may have hurt you. Enfold others in love, because you are being wrapped in love. It is time for you to open your heart, to give and receive. Your very essence is love. You are loved. You are wanted. You are desired. Your challenges have been big. I can see that. But this situation is over. Everything is happening for a reason, even if it's been very hard to see it. There will be a silver lining. You will carry something from this that I believe may well contribute to, potentially not just your own future, but the future of others that will benefit from your experiences and your learning. But it is now a time to celebrate. Something is coming to you that announces this new beginning. Wonderful, wonderful friends. This is a beautiful reading. I think I'm literally going to wrap it up now, but I would like to say, if this has resonated with you, if you've enjoyed the readings this week or the lunar updates as well, if you want to get notification of any of my readings, do press subscribe and the little bell icon, then they should come into your stream. Thank you to those of you who are already subscribed. Thank you for being a part of this amazing community. Guys, I do have a monthly prize draw. I give away a free private reading and also a pack of these cards, the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. It's a first signed limited edition. It's a subscriber offer, and I have a subscriber email list. Again, the link is in the information box below and in the comments for phone users. So if you once you're on that email list, you're on it forever. So I will be announcing the winners of the prize draw for March, probably after next week's readings. I usually tack it on at the end of the Sunday readings. So do watch out for those. And yeah, if you'd like to get notification of any of my readings, any of the spontaneous ones, as well as the weeklies on Sunday, do subscribe. And thank you so much. And really big respect to you all, because I can see something you've experienced a big lesson in life, and that has not been easy, but it's over. It's time to move on, and something of a celebration that marks your new beginnings is literally, I think, about to emerge for you. Beautiful, beautiful energy here today. Tons and tons of love to you. I really do wish you all the love in the world. So let's now talk about the coming month. We are just entering the fourth moon phase, the tribal moon phase of 2022. Now, the tribal moon phases begin on the new moon and they last until the next new moon. So the new moon is always the entry point for a new phase, and the influence of the tribal moons is, for me, it's honestly been an absolute kind of life-changing, really, learning about them, because I realized the more I read that, and the more I learned, that my actual experiences, my life experiences that were showing up during these moon phases completely aligned with the life lessons that the tribal moons teach us about. Now, I can really, really recommend this book. I love sharing information. This is an incredible book. The work of Jamie Sams, who's the author. She is an outstanding author. She's an extraordinary visionary teacher, and this book will teach you all about the 13 tribal moon cycles. It was a revelation for me when I came across this, or indeed I was shown it by one of my own mentors. The teachings are extraordinary at a depth of soul in terms of our soul's evolution, which of course has the most profound connection to our ability to manifest. You know, we can't consciously manifest if only a bit of us is conscious and the rest of us is operating unconsciously, chucking stuff into the universe, because we're often putting out what we don't want rather than what we do. So our sort of soul's evolution is a profound part. It's like the foundation stone of our ability, I think, to consciously manifest. If you are interested in then combining the information and the knowledge of the tribal moons with what's actually happening astrologically right here and right now, then I can actually recommend my own book, which is the Astro-Moon Journal. Now, the diary, as you will know if you're using it, teaches you about where the moon is on a daily basis, and it's there to help you develop a relationship with the moon. But this is different. The journal focuses show you. So the journal actually focuses on the tribal moon cycles, and it gives much more detailed information about the actual new moon and the actual full moon sort of astrological dynamics. So what I'm going to do is just read a little bit to you, say a little bit more about the coming month, and then we'll perhaps have a little look at the new moon of today. So during this month, this is the fourth moon phase of 2022, looks far woman. The full moon is also known as the pink moon, the planter's moon, and alder moon. During this lunar month, the values and learning that underpin our personal growth and influence our creative manifestations come from the teachings of the clan mother, looks far woman, supported by the energy of alder. Now, alder is a tree, sometimes known as the goddess tree. Perhaps I should just read this. Alder is associated with strength, determination, protection, discernment, and confidence, which is really interesting because looks far woman also teaches us about discernment. She's a visionary, she's a dreamer, she's able to move into the void, into the vortex, to be able to see things with clarity. She's also learned from her life lessons. She teaches us that we can, it's through adversity and through our healing that we develop true wisdom, and we can then apply that wisdom to our ability to consciously navigate, to literally be able to see what's being presented to us. So discernment is very key in her lessons. It fascinated me when I kind of learned all about the kind of Celtic moons and looked at the history of moon understanding in the UK here, our own kind of tribal origins, that this is the alder moon, and the alder has exactly the same qualities as looks far woman. So literally on another continent, you know, tribal peoples have had this knowing and this understanding and this wisdom. So Luxfar woman is a seer and a visionary, and during this moon phase, speaking about my experiences from last year, I found myself presented with many signs, signals and synchronicities that gave me an opportunity to trust my own real experiences and to learn to recognise and believe in the guidance I was shown. Very powerful month for me, and this time last year I really journaled like crazy and made notes and wanted to put it into the journal to share with you guys this year. So balancing the need to look into the future, because we do need to vision if we're manifesting, with the importance of being fully present and grounded in the now. The story of Luxfar woman encouraged and inspired me to believe in possibility, even if there were difficulties around me. She really does symbolize our ability, I think, to process experience in a way that, and I've said it a moment ago, that allows us to develop wisdom, you know, not just foresight, but also insight as well. So that inner vision and the ability to look ahead and to kind of use the combination of that in a way that allows us to be very grounded in the now and take the actions in the now that allow us to literally create a different future for ourselves, to be much more consciously in charge of our manifestations. So in terms of manifestation, this is a powerful month of fertility. Following the growth of the third moon phase in March, where we learned to look beyond the obvious and gain understanding of cause and effect, this new phase of lunar influence opens doorways of spiritual illumination that establish and renew. I'm going to say potentially renew. We have to engage with this. You know, manifestation is not a passive state of affairs. We have to do the work. That establish and renew faith, trust and love. The overall astrodynamics of the new moon in Aries, this is today, invites us to believe in our dreams and to invest in our wishes and intentions that honour our faith, honour our desire to build a bigger, better future. The full moon in Libra, also known as pink moon, planter's moon and alder moon, brings balanced perspectives and an opportunity to view any situation through the eyes of love, fostering healing and forgiveness. Healing is a big part of Luxfar woman and her story and of her ability to heal and offer that healing to future generations. Let me now read you a little bit about the new moon today. So, a new moon in Aries naturally supports wishes and intentions that focus on ourselves, supporting personal growth, self-discovery, courage and authenticity, and new beginnings. You know, Aries is also the first, technically, when we enter Aries, we're in a new, it's like a new year, it's the zodiac's new year. The lunar energy today emphasizes the potential for healing conversations, whether with others or literally with ourselves. So if you suffer from a debilitating inner critic, this is a perfect new moon to set wishes to easily overcome any form of internal negative dialogue. Remember, Luxfar woman is a healing moon as well as a visionary. You know, that it's the healing that allows us to transform challenging experiences into personal growth, so that we literally have a stronger foundation. Masculine Mars and feminine Venus sit either side of the structuring energy of karmic Saturn. That's the stuff that's going on today. Also connecting beautifully with the wild, untamed voice of Lilith. Lilith is the moon that speaks to us of, I'm going to say, our kind of unmet needs, those things that were taken away from us, the injustice, those sorts of things in our lives. So she puts us in touch with our deepest desires. This is a perfect dynamic to focus on new moon wishes that seek to balance and align practical needs with your deepest desires. So again, profound for manifestation, because, you know, Saturn is not just about karmic lessons, but about building new structures, making something solid that we can stand on, a foundation. So there's a practicality in the energy today, alongside the expansiveness and the optimism of Jupiter is also, I'm going to say, sitting with Neptune today. Jupiter is the planet of optimism, and Neptune is the kind of the connection to spirit, spiritual awareness. Now they sit together today in Pisces, and they both rule Pisces, so they're even stronger. The energy to be able to literally kind of gain spiritual clarity and add that spiritual dimension to our dreams, our passions, to putting things right, moving forwards, building new structures. It's a really powerful day. So I won't read any more. I've just got the timings here. There's all sorts of information in this book. But anyway, I hope that that's giving you some information. The full moon, I will read about the full moon when we get there. I'll do a reading obviously close to that, and perhaps do a little update as to the kinds of things that might be showing up in your world, how they might be, what we can do with them. As a therapist, for those of you that are new to my channel, I was an accredited therapist, counsellor for over 28 years. I still do a little bit of that work, but most of my work is much more spiritually orientated. It's about sharing information in a much bigger way into the world. So guys, I hope this has been helpful to you. Tons and tons of love. Get manifesting. Work from the inside out, because that is the energy of the new moon and of Lux Far Woman. With the healing and the connection to your own spiritual pathway, your manifestations can really kind of get a strong footing, I think, this month. And because we begin with a new moon and we finish the month with a new moon, April is really offering us, it's like a little mini cycle, so you could literally create and see some results, some fairly immediate results by the end of the month. Certainly be seeing really clear guidance as to what your next steps are if you're manifesting something that is big and it can't be done in a month. So really, really powerful month of manifestation. I wish you guys just so much love and all the best, and just tons of love, and thank you for being a part of this amazing community. It's an absolute privilege to read your comments and to be doing this and sharing this information with you. Tons of love to you.